Coming at you from Tokyo, Japan, my name is Dave, and this is my Toyota Altezza. What are we doing today, Dave? Well, I need to open the bonnet. As you can see, my blow-by setup isn't the best. I've got a 90-degree barb here and just a piece of hose, some zip ties, goes around and then connects up to my catch tank. We won't talk about the other end because that doesn't matter. That might not apply to you. None of this is relevant to what I'm about to show you. I'm excited by this because it was really difficult to do. Tons of R&D, yeah. Okay, so what have you got? I've developed this, which is a replacement for all of that shit. I see lots of people running, hoses out the back and, hose from this or blocking the PCV pipe off. I don't like that because it's less air that can escape. We'll talk about that later. I don't like most of the setups I've seen, so I made my own one. Let's get this fitted up and have a look at what it's like. But before we do that, let's talk about its history. This. I don't know where I started, honestly. And then I came up with this. This is done in PLA. It's just the cheapest filament I could get. And yeah, it fit. So then it came to, okay, well, we need a filament that's actually going to work. This is PPA-CF. It's one of the toughest and highest temperature rated filaments you can print on a home printer, but I just couldn't get this to be waterproof. This is another one. This is considerably heavier because I changed the printing parameters. I tried dozens of prints to try to get it waterproof. Nothing worked. I decided aluminium was the way to go. It's basically, it feels like die-cast. I've talked about 3D printed aluminium before. There are a lot of like file marks and stuff on it. It isn't the prettiest of things, or is it? Like maybe I'm just a bit hard on it. I don't know. But I have tested it. It is waterproof. There's actually a bit of junk in there. I need to run a file through it. Where they've had the supports go in, they haven't managed to get rid of everything. Get that off. Goodbye. Okay, not gonna need that. Get that off there. Yeet. Now, hopefully I can get this out without damaging the grommet. There we go. Did we ruin it? Should we get it out and have a look at it? Oh yeah, she's ruined, all right. Split. Split on the top. Oh, it's not split the whole way through though. That'd still work. I'm not gonna run it because I've got other ones, but that would still work. Because this one's sacrificial, we can have a look at the fit. That's pretty nice. See that? You didn't put a barb or a bead on it. Nope, doesn't need it. Once it goes in, it can't move. The barb or bead is to stop it from being able to blow off, but because there's a bolt right there, it can't go anywhere. If you're worried about it, put a little bit of liquid sealer on it, not ATV, some aviation sealant, and yeah, that won't leak at all. You just need a thin layer of it. It stays soft, so getting this off would be easy. Ish. Maybe. Just put a dollop of motor oil on the outside and inside. Actually, it's a lot more than I probably needed. All right. That's tighter than I would have thought it should be. Oh, perfect. Spend 5 minutes getting the camera set up and then just knock it and it falls down. Oh. I just want to get it done, but I can't because of GoPro related issues. That's wild how tight that is. I had them undone the other day and I'm sure I did them up to spec, but okay, so does this go in? Oh, please. Oh, please. Please fit. It's wanting to. I might need some more lubricant on it. Some more? I mean some. Okay, we're in. Does it line up and bolt up? It does. Can we get it out again? We can. Excellent. All right, so I need to put the, oh, that's a nice sound, isn't it? I need a hose, short piece of hose. Yeah, put one of these on it. Let's put that one in there first. And then that one in there. It is fighting me, but it did go in. There we go. It's a tight fit. There is a little bit of resistance on this because of that angle. It isn't perfect. There we go, but it does fit. Because this is aluminium, you can torque it up to spec and it won't have any problems. I wonder about the seal there, I really do, but we'll find out if it leaks. Yeah, that's just a really quite elegant solution. Doing the coils is going to suck a little bit. There it is. The Garage Case Special Parts logo there. It's got like a homemade look to it, which is kind of cool. It's got that I made it in my shed look, which is, I mean, that's Garage K, isn't it? Shout out to Boss Town. Oh my God, that's so good. How did you do that?
I don't know, I just did it.
This is where it exits. And it's just there. Like that. So it just sort of blends in. It doesn't touch. There's a good clearance to the plastic. But the question is, does the plastic cover still fit?
You better believe it still fits. Who do you think designed this thing?
What's it? It's sitting up on something. Oh, it's sitting up on my vacuum line back here. Yeah, nice. It just disappears. That's really tidy. Sick. That's what I wanted. 100% happy with that.
Some people might be wondering if the pipe diameter is big enough to move all of the air of the two holes, considering that the pipe is the same diameter as the top outlet. Well, there's a few things to consider. First, the top outlet will be designed to move more air than the engine ever requires. And at idle, it'll hardly be moving any at all. As for the other hole, let's not forget that it was for the PCV. The hole in the PCV to allow air through is only about 5 mm in diameter. So at idle, we're never going to max out that pipe. And when max flow is required, we could potentially have more flow than stock because the PCV isn't in the way. Now, I haven't tested this, of course, but logically, this is perfect.